Hello there, Michael Fish back with your usual weekly outlook. We'll look at the weekend's weather into next week as well, courtesy of netweather.tv. Now, for a change, I'm the bringer of good news, that is, assuming you like warm, sunny weather, because we look like heading for some of the warmest weather of the year so far. Although you can't have everything, as the high itself has settled into a position where it seems to be quite happy. It's always getting into this position to the north of us, or northeast of us even, which means to say that it gives England and Wales at least quite often some quite stiff northeasterly winds, and those keep the east coast quite cool and often bring some pretty misty weather in as well. And of course with that breeze we'll be stirring up the old pollen. I've had pretty nasty hay fever these last few days. Still, the doctor tells me it's a symptom of adolescence. But anyhow, the big question I suppose is, will it last? And the answer to that is, stay with me, I'll let you know later on. Let's have a look at the jet stream. The jet over the Mediterranean has at long last weakened and moved away, but not before it's given some absolutely horrendous weather in parts of Central Europe, some of the wettest conditions, worst floods they've had for over 500 years. Now it does look as if we're going to have a few quiet jetless days, as you might say, but then another jet's going to be moving out from America and heading to the south of us, and it looks as if that will turn the weather unsettled again later in the week. The surface level pressure pattern that goes with that shows us high pressure at the moment over the United Kingdom, low pressure to the south of us over Biscay, and a northeasterly flow in between, with those winds strongest in the south. Now that low will drift away eastwards and the winds ease for a time on Monday, but then we will find early next week that another area of low pressure starts to try and move in from the Atlantic. The high pressure will probably hold for a time, but eventually it does look as if it will turn less settled. If it isn't that low pressure from the Atlantic, then it's another one which will develop to the south of us and drift northwards over us in the second half of the week. On a day-to-day basis, then for Friday, it looks as if we'll start maybe with the odd shower in parts of southern England, mist and murk and low cloud in many other places, and quite a chilly start too. That won't last long, and most places will be dry with sunny periods. There could well be some further showers developing in the north and west, but there'll be clear blue skies in favoured spots like London, the south east and East Anglia. In any case, if there have been any showers, they'll fade in the evening to give another fine and rather chilly, misty night. During the day it's going to be very warm in most places, but it will be cooler along the east coast where it might stay misty, and if sea breezes pick up around other coasts too, it will keep the temperatures tempered somewhat. On Saturday some early mist, and then most places dry, sunny and warm again. Pretty windy though in the south, stirring things up and making it feel a little bit cooler. And there could well be a few showers developing over Scotland during the course of the day. Now the east coast again could be plagued by some low cloud, mist and murk, making it very much cooler. Most likely areas perhaps Yorkshire, Lincolnshire and Norfolk. Now into the weekend we have one of my favourite events, I should imagine, which is the Great Welsh Beer and Cider Festival. That's at Cardiff, and there will be ideal weather for sleeping off the overdraft. Not the overdraft, no, I know what I mean, you know what I mean. Any case, let's move on to Sunday, and it looks like being a very similar day as a matter of fact, with the addition perhaps of one or two showers from the south developing later on in the day. Now the event that's taking place over the weekend that certainly got my cheek, as you might say, is the World Naked Bike Ride. That's taking place in many places, more notably Brighton, Bristol and London. I think there's a fact that it's going to be sunny in most parts, so you'll need to put on that sun cream, especially on those little things that don't normally catch the sun or don't normally be out in the sun as you get riding around. So on Monday again a very similar day, but there's a greater chance I think of some showers developing in central parts of England, and later on in the day cloud and windy weather with outbreaks of rain will spread from the west into western parts, and it is going to be turning cooler. And then on Tuesday, not such good news, getting back to square one again. It looks as if much of the country is going to be cooler and cloudy with outbreaks of rain, although there could be some clearer conditions reaching the west later on in the day. And from Wednesday through to the latter part of the week, it's back with this unsettled weather again, often rather breezy, quite cool, unsettled as I said, with showers or longer outbreaks of rain. So the message really is to get out and make the most of the next 4 or 5 days, because typically for this summer and recent summers it isn't going to last. Anyhow, enjoy it while you can. I'll be back this time next week. Goodbye for now.